We're on the Qur'an. We're in Tauba, and we're starting on sign verse 55. Let not their wealth nor their following in sons dazzle thee. In reality, Allah's plan is to punish them with these things in this life. What? Let not their wealth nor their following in sons dazzle thee. In reality, Allah's plan is to punish them with these things in this life. Whoa. So the things that we see like glitz and glamour are actually like a form of punishment. We shouldn't get jealous. And that their souls may perish in their very denial of Allah. They swear by Allah that they are indeed of you, but they are not of you, yet they are afraid to appear in their true colors. If they could find a place to flee to, or caves, or a place of concealment, they would turn straight away thereto, with an obstinate rush. And among them are men who slander thee in the matter of the distribution of the alms. If they are given part thereof, they are pleased, but if not, behold, they are indignant. If only they had been content with what Allah and His Apostle gave them, and had said, Sufficient unto us is Allah. Allah and His Apostle will soon give us His bounty. To Allah do we turn our hopes. That would have been the right course. Alms are for the poor and the needy, and those employed to administer the funds, for those whose hearts have been recently reconciled to truth, for those in bondage and in debt, in the cause of Allah, and for the wayfarer. Thus it is, ordained by Allah, and Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. Among them are men who molest the Prophet and say, He is all ear. Say, He listens to what is best for you. He believes in Allah, has faith from the believers, and is a mercy to those of you who believe. But those who molest the Apostle will have a grievous penalty. To you they swear by Allah in order to please you, but it is more fitting that they should please Allah and His Apostle, if they are believers. Know they not that for those who oppose Allah and His Apostle is the fire of hell, wherein they shall dwell. That is the supreme disgrace. The hypocrites are afraid lest a surah should be sent down about them, showing them what is really passing in their hearts. Say, Mock ye, but verily Allah will bring to light all that ye fear should be revealed. If thou dost question them, they declare with emphasis, We are only taking idly and in play. Say, Was it at Allah and His signs and His Apostle that ye were mocking? Make ye no excuses. Ye have rejected faith after ye had accepted it. If we pardon some of you, we will punish others amongst you, for that they are in sin. The hypocrites, men and women, have understanding with each other. They enjoin evil, and forbid what is just, and are closed with their hands. They have forgotten Allah, so He hath forgotten them. Whoa. Verily, the hypocrites are rebellious and perverse. Allah hath promised the hypocrites, men and women, and the rejectors of faith, the fire of hell. Therein shall they dwell. Sufficient is it for them. For them is the curse of Allah and an enduring punishment. As in the case of those before you, they were mightier than you in power, and more flourishing in wealth and children. They had their enjoyment of their portion, and ye have of yours, as did those before you, and ye indulge in idle talk, as they did. Their works are fruitless in this world and in the hereafter, and they will lose all spiritual good. Hath not the story reached them of those before them, the people of Noah, and Ad and Thamud, the people of Abraham, the men of Midian, and cities overthrown? To them came their apostles with clear signs. It is not Allah who wrongs them, but they wrong their own souls. The believers, men and women, are protectors one of another. They enjoin what is just and forbid what is evil. They observe regular prayers, practice regular charity, and obey Allah and His Apostle. On them will Allah pour His mercy, for Allah is exalted in power, wise. Allah hath promised to believers, men and women, gardens under which rivers flow, to dwell therein, and beautiful mansions and gardens of everlasting bliss. But the greatest bliss is the good pleasure of Allah, that is supreme felicity. O Prophet, strive hard against the unbelievers and the hypocrites, and be firm against them. Their abode is hell, an evil refuge indeed. They swear by Allah that they said nothing evil, but indeed they uttered blasphemy, and they did it after accepting Islam. And they meditated a plot which they were unable to carry out. This revenge of theirs was their only return for the bounty with which Allah and His Apostle had enriched them. If they repent, it will be best for them, but if they turn back to their evil ways, Allah will punish them with a grievous penalty in this life and in the hereafter. They shall have none on earth to protect or help them. Amongst them are men who made a covenant with Allah, that if He bestowed on them with His bounty, they would give largely in charity and be amongst those who are righteous. But when He did bestow of His bounty, they became covetous and turned their back from their covenant, averse from its fulfillment. So He hath put a consequence hypocrisy into their hearts, to last till the day whereon they shall meet Him, because they broke their covenant with Allah, and because they lied again and again. Know they not that Allah doth know their secret thoughts and their secret counsels, and that knoweth well all things unseen? Those who slander such of the believers as give themselves freely to deeds of charity, as well as such as can nothing to give except the fruits of their labor, and throw ridicule on them, Allah will throw back their ridicule on them, and they shall have a grievous penalty. Throwing back the ridicule. Whether thou ask for their forgiveness or not, their sin is unforgivable. If thou ask 70 times for their forgiveness, Allah will not forgive them, because they have rejected Allah and His Apostle. And Allah guideth not those who are perversely rebellious. Those who were left behind in the Tabuk expedition rejoiced in their inaction behind the back of the Apostle of Allah. They hated to strive and fight with their goods and their persons in the cause of Allah. They said, Go not forth in the heat. Say, the fire of hell is fiercer in heat. If only they could understand. Let them laugh a little. Much will they weep, a recompense to the evil that they do. Oh, I like that. Let them laugh. But they'll pay. If then Allah bring thee back to any of them, and they ask thy permission to come out with thee, say, Never shall ye come out with me, nor fight an enemy with me, for ye preferred to sit inactive on the first occasion. Then sit ye now with those who lag behind. Nor do thou ever pray for any of them that dies, nor stand at his grave, for they rejected Allah and His Apostle, and died in a state of perverse rebellion. Nor let their wealth, nor their following in sons dazzle thee. Allah's plan is to punish them with these things in this world. Again, that passage, the sons dazzle. And that their souls may perish in their very denial of Allah. When a surah comes down, enjoining them to believe in Allah and to strive and fight along with His Apostle, those with wealth and influence among them ask thee for exemption and say, Leave us behind, we would be with those who sit at home. Wow. They prefer to be with the women who remain behind at home. Their hearts are sealed, and so they understand not. But the Apostle and those who believe with him strive and fight with their wealth and their persons. For them are all good things, and it is they who will prosper. Allah hath prepared for them gardens under which rivers flow, to dwell therein. That is the supreme felicity. And there were among the desert Arabs also men who made excuses and came to claim the exception. And those who were false to Allah and His Apostle merely said inactive, soon will a grievous penalty seize the unbelievers among them. There is no blame on those who are infirm or ill, or who find no resources to spend on the cause. If they are sincere in duty to Allah and His Apostle, no ground of complaint can there be against such as do right. And Allah is oft-forgiving, most merciful. Nor is there blame on those who came to thee to be provided with mounts. And when thou sayest, I can find no mounts for you, they turn back, their eyes streaming with tears of grief. They had no resources wherewith to provide the expenses. The ground of complaint is against such as claim exemption while they are rich. They prefer to stay with the women who remain behind. Allah hath sealed their hearts, so they know not what they miss. They will present their excuses to you when ye return to them. Say thou, present no excuses, we shall not believe you. Allah hath already informed us of the true state of the matters concerning you. It is your actions that Allah and His Apostle will observe. In the end will ye be brought back to Him, who knoweth what is hidden and what is open? Then will He show you the truth of all that ye did. They will swear to you by Allah when ye return to them that ye may leave them alone. So leave them alone, for they are an abomination, and hell is their dwelling place, a fitting recompense for the evil that they did. They will swear unto you that ye may be pleased with them, but if ye are pleased with them, Allah is not pleased with those who disobey. The Arabs of the desert are the worst in unbelief and hypocrisy, and most fitted to be ignorant of the command which Allah has sent down to His Apostle. But Allah is all-knowing, all-wise. I think from that verse, when they say Arabs of the desert, that probably is referring to a battle or something that I'm not educated on. The history, there's a context, I bet, to that. Because I was watching a video yesterday that Mecca is in Saudi Arabia. So that means, so when they say Arabs of the desert, sometimes when you say Arab, people think Arabian. But I bet you that was a warring faction that was like going to war with one of the caliphates. I know y'all will comment what that is talking about, because it was probably one of the warring people, right? Like people who were like not on the cause, something like that. That's what I think. Some of the desert Arabs look upon their payments as a fine. Whoa, that's an interesting thing. Payments as a fine. And watch for disasters for you. On them be the disaster of evil. For Allah is He that heareth and knoweth all things. But some of the desert Arabs believe in Allah on the last day and look on their payments as pious gifts, bringing them nearer to Allah and obtaining the prayers of the Apostle. Aye, indeed they bring them nearer to Him. Soon will Allah admit them to His mercy. For Allah is oft-forgiving, most merciful. Very educational, family. Okay, we'll cut it off here so that way the computer doesn't freeze.